Hey everybody, Aaron Cowan, Sage Dynamics. This week's questions answered video. How do I feel about YouTube's new policies directed at gun-related channels? If you haven't seen it shared on social media, YouTube has once again changed its policies regarding gun-related channels to be more restrictive. And they have every right to do this because YouTube is a private company. It's their platform, it's their servers, it's their format. So if they want to censor, if you want to use that word, censor certain content, they're more than able to do that. They've already done it with other topics that you can find if you're really interested in YouTube's user guidelines. So the fact that this has happened, or the fact that they've further restricted channel rights is not really surprising to me. It was almost expected, and I imagine that it will eventually become even more restrictive than it is now. The way that the policy has changed, if you're not familiar, just to kind of give you a brief overview, in addition to previous restrictions that they had in place for gun-related channels, you saw a lot of guys that lost their ability to monetize their channel, which means they couldn't make money off of it. With the newer restrictions, you're not allowed to give tutorials on how to make homemade silencers or anything bump fire stock related or increasing trigger speed, and you can't provide any direct links to firearms manufacturers. Now, they did mention accessories, kind of a vague category, which was probably intentional on their part. So I don't know if that's going to affect things like optics and scopes, and probably ammunition would definitely be considered something that you shouldn't be providing links to. So channels that have sponsors, and they mention their sponsors in their videos, now are probably not going to be able to do that, especially if links are provided. So it is somewhat more restrictive, I'd say considerably more restrictive than it has been in the past. As far as I'm concerned, this doesn't really affect much that I do. I do provide reviews. Now I just won't provide any in video or in description links. So that's easy enough. I don't do videos on how to build machine guns or how to build suppressors or build silencers, legally of course. So that won't affect what I do. And as far as the monetization goes, which was already taken away from the majority of gun-related YouTube channels, I never monetized anyway. I've never made a cent directly off a single YouTube video because, and I've said this in the past, I have a YouTube channel, but I am not a YouTube channel. My primary source of income and any tertiary or secondary source of income is not YouTube related. I provide videos to get format out there, to get information out there as an indirect way to get students in courses, but also to provide good information for people who can't afford courses or maybe can't make it to a course near them. As far as reviews go, there's products that I'm interested in. I figure if I'm going to get them and I'm going to check them out anyway, I might as well film it, put it out there so you can make an informed decision on something that you want to buy. So as the rule change stands now, it doesn't really directly affect me. So while I'm okay, so to speak, as a channel, it is troubling that we see a constitutionally protected right being censored by a private corporation, but it's not the first time it's happened. I'm not okay with it. However, if I want to if I want to maintain the reach that I have, then YouTube is something I'm going to continue to use until I'm not able to use it anymore. You could right now get every single gun YouTuber together and have them boycott YouTube, and it wouldn't put a dent in their bottom line. So what may cause change in some other areas where we've faced discrimination for being gun owners isn't necessarily going to work in this case. This is in no way me supporting the decision that YouTube has made. In fact, I find, like I said, I find it very troubling. It is pretty offensive that I'm discriminated against as a gun channel. But furthermore, I'm discriminated against as someone exercising my Second Amendment rights by putting videos out there for other people who enjoy exercising their Second Amendment rights. So it's just kind of a curtailment on YouTube's parts on my civil rights, because Second Amendment is a civil right as far as I'm concerned. And I think that there's enough legal precedence to back up that viewpoint. So we are being punished in a way for doing nothing, being responsible gun owners, basically. So that's problematic. I would like to see an alternative platform exist. There is Full30, I do know that, but it doesn't have the reach. And I think a reason that you see like these gun-centric web pages and these gun-centric video channels not succeed is the fact that as a YouTube viewer myself, I can watch a video on firearms and then immediately watch a video on cats and then go over and check out Because Science. I can get a wide multitude of my videos that I'd like to watch all in one place. And that's what makes things like YouTube successful. I'm going to do some looking into LiveLeak and see if maybe that would be a good alternative platform. I've already seen some guys start uploading videos to Pornhub, because if anybody's going to censor something, it's probably not going to be them. Obviously, that's not the platform that's going to be safe for work for most people, even if you are watching a gun video, and some people may have their own personal moral distinctions that they'd have to kind of consider if they're going to support a gun channel because it's hosted on a pornography website. So I can see how some people might not want to go over there to watch their gun videos because of that reason. I don't really know what's in store for the future of social media in relation to firearms, but I can tell you this: it's not going to get less restricted. It's going to continue to go this way because that's the social sentiment among the people who want to see guns banned. And let's be honest, that's exactly what's going on now. In a lot of ways, they're not even hiding it anymore. It used to be, well, you don't need an AR-15, but now you've got people just straight up saying, no, we want to take all your guns. And you can lay the situation all you want, but we're not anywhere near that point. Where we're at now is the attempt at censorship. If they can cut off connectivity between gun owners, then they feel like that they can decrease the popularity of firearms. And in a certain way, they're probably not wrong to a certain extent. The people who are on the bench, so to speak, if they're not able to become educated or informed or entertained by gun-related content on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, then they're less likely to become gun owners, because a lot of your gun owners these days are urban. They're not growing up in homes full of guns or homes with guns like I did and like other people did from my generation. So it's a very, very effective technique to go after firearms popularity through social media. And it's something that we definitely need to be aware of. Yeah, you can boycott YouTube and say, well, I'm never watching YouTube again because they stopped supporting 2A channels. Yeah, that's not going to affect YouTube at all, because there's more people out there to fill the void of guys that just want to watch cat videos or carpentry videos or how-to car videos. It's a very niche category in which they're slowly eliminating. So it's, in the grand scheme of things, it's not really going to affect YouTube's bottom line. But what it is going to do is break the connectivity among gun owners and potential gun owners and gun enthusiasts across a wide degree of I guess, genres. You know, some people are just into sport shooting, some people are into hunting, some people are into self-defense focused shooting, some people are into milsim or military-related techniques, some people are into long-range precision. All those categories are going to be disconnected slowly from the internet, in a way, into where you'll have to purposely go out and seek out a privately hosted server to watch videos, as opposed to being able to access it just by Googling something. And it's multifaceted. You've got Facebook on board, you've got Google on board, you've got YouTube on board. Instagram is slowly rolling it out. And unless we find a way to systematically push back against censorship, this is the world that we're going to have to get used to. And I'm not saying just sit back on your laurels and do nothing, but have a realistic expectation of what we're going to be able to do, because the simple boycotts or posting nasty comments is not going to be successful. So I'm going to continue to watch the situation and see what avenues open up, or what avenues that I can help develop with my peers to push back as much as we're able against the social media censorship that's now starting to ramp into a higher gear. I hope that answers the question. Unfortunately, I had to do a video on this topic. If you have any questions on this topic or any other topic, feel free to drop them in the comments section below. I'm Aaron Count with Sage Dynamics. Train accordingly.